if I have to talk about our NPA levels, this is only a recent phenomenon in the sense our recovery has been very good in the last 6 months. And we have had a good support from the Ministry of Roads and Highways, where a lot of termination payments were stuck, and that was debottlenecked in the last 3-4 months. So our recovery has increased fourfolds, and which has led to reduction in gross NPAs by about 4%. And we have also made additional provisioning, which made possible to reduce the net NPAs by about 3% from about 11% to about 8%. So that has been a significant achievement in the last 3-4 months. In addition to that, the top line also has grown over 35% in the last 4 months. So the top line growth combined with good recoveries has led to this overall combined effect of less NPAs. So that is that is the nutshell of how our NPAs has come down. Second, as far as the banking sector is concerned, they are still grappled with certain issues relating to termination payments as from the NHAI, as well as uncertainty of payments from DISCOMs. So those issues have to be settled out. But with the recent credit guarantee program of the REC and PFC, significantly the energy sector has benefited. So that will also, over a period of time, we expect that to that problem to be, if not come down, at least it will minimize to a certain extent. Now, as far as the termination payments are concerned, now the Ministry of Roads, Transportation and Highways have embarked on their initiative to kind of debottleneck many of these stuck-up payments. And NHAI has been also very, very active, and they have been engaged in debottlenecking most of these stuck-up termination payments. So that is going to help the banking sector significantly. As far as the overall position of the infrastructure sector, as far as the non-performance and the one-time restructuring and the kind of innovative mechanisms to kind of overcome the stuck-up projects. A number of these are all unique initiatives, and each project has its own unique dimensions to kind of address them. So restructuring is normally a solution where you don't have any other major interventions up in your near-term outlook, and you don't have any major possibilities of any management change. So if management change is there, then you need definitely to do a restructuring. Otherwise, also you need to do one-time restructuring if you have a viability in view. So I think project viability is very important to kind of.
My only point is public sector banks, they are talking about their restructuring. People are not coming for restructuring. There some problems are there. There might be some afraid of the rating they will reduce or something. What is your experience, sir, in your organizations? Whether people are coming for one-time restructuring as per the RBI circular?
Yeah, that's what I said. That as long as there is an outlook for project viability, the commercial viability of a project is very important for restructuring. Because if there is nothing in a project, even after restructuring, you don't envisage any rebounding in terms of its commercial aspects. There's no point in going ahead and doing a restructuring. We need to look at a kind of a write-off or a kind of
This is a restructuring or due to COVID only. Nothing. I'm not talking about the restructuring other thing. Due to COVID, they have to pay the fixed expenses or something, and they could not run. So definitely it requires some restructuring, sir.
Yeah, restructuring in terms of this recent pandemic, that is actually that's mostly because of short-term problems. Short-term problems obviously will get solved because of the moratorium. though we have the Reserve Bank of India guidelines, and we have actually gone by that, and we have already issued our extension of support in terms of moratorium. We are not likely to get impacted very greatly, because most of the projects which have actually even taken moratorium, they are expected to rebound shortly. At least 75% of the project in our books, they have expressed their ability to get back. We are seeing a positive development as far as the work in progress is concerned. Most of the road projects, they have reported pre-COVID levels of tolls, and energy projects, particularly the renewables and others, the works have restarted. May not be as fast as it used to be in the pre-COVID times, but yes, it is going on well. And there could be delays of 6 to 1 month or 6 to 1 year, and which would really, for which the cash flows would really be taken care of because of the moratorium. Otherwise, those serious developers who have been engaged in such projects have already pumped in upfront equities, and they have taken this very seriously. There are certain small and medium developers who have not been able to do so. In such projects, we expect some more delays, and that delays could really lead to certain cost overruns also. These all will become clear once, because we still have time, for restructuring till December 31st. So during the month of January, I think we can get a very clear picture of what exactly will be the impact because of this moratorium and restructuring.